use in this work the scriptural statement that the place whereon I stand is holy ground. The reason, of course, is that I and the Father stand here. But remember this, that I, Joel, the outer selfhood, is but the vehicle or avenue for I, God, which is also I, Joel, the infinite invisible. Therefore, we are one. The outer expresses the inner, or the inner manifests and expresses itself through and as the outer. Now, of course, these are just statements or affirmations until the moment of transition, at which time they become reality. In other words, there is an actual time in one's life when this is not a statement of truth, when it is an actual fact. When I can get up in the morning knowing that there will be mail on my desk, and that mail will give me something to do during the day. It may be healing work or teaching work or a call to lecture, but be assured of this, that either in that mail or on the telephone or through some call that comes during the day, my work is given me to do. And along with it, the necessary finances are supplied. It is true, one day these finances may come in through patience, and another day as a royalty on a book that has nothing to do with it. Be assured of this, if I have attained that point in consciousness where Christ is living my life, Christ is also maintaining and sustaining my life. Not only providing me the activity, but providing me with the necessary intelligence and love, the necessary wisdom and strength to carry out this work. And also it is supplying me with the necessary finances to carry on this work. It is all one. I, of my own self, can do nothing, but this infinite invisible, which now has taken over my life, and is using me as a vehicle for its expression, it fulfills itself in my experience. It comes to be the fulfillment of my life. It provides me with transportation, even if the human claim is that there are no seats left. It provides me with accommodations, even if the hotels say there is no room. It provides me with everything necessary to the fulfillment of the message, since the message is not mine. Remember, my doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. And if I speak of myself, I bear witness to a lie. So you see that whatever is necessary for the expression of the message, whether it is the Christ message, whether it is the Christian Science message, whether it is the Infinite Way message, be assured of this, that whoever is inspired as the messenger is likewise supported, maintained, and sustained by that which provides the message. Now, you see that the object of what I'm saying to you is, first of all, that there is a divine presence, which we may call the Christ, which takes over at some point or other our experience and lives itself through and as us. And the second object is to tell you that the means of arriving at that point of experience is study, meditation, and practice of the correct letter of truth, until that correct letter of truth, abiding in consciousness, finally appears in the full bloom of spiritual realization. Well, now you understand that Jesus, speaking of the Father within, was speaking of the power of divine presence that animated his being. That was the healing power. That was the power that multiplied loaves and fishes. That was the power that raised Lazarus. In the same way, you understand that when Paul speaks of being able to do all things through Christ, or the Christ liveth his life, that he likewise is referring to that divine power, which we in the infinite way call the infinite invisible, and that it was the power which gave him his message and his mission that he carried out into the world of his day. And likewise, that same presence and power that gave him his strength, his inspiration, and his supply. You know that after churches were organized, Paul still carried money from one city to another, collected in one place to finance churches in another. In other words, even though they had the message on paper or in voice, they still did not have sufficient of the Spirit to bring forth all that was necessary for fulfillment. But evidently Paul did. Because Paul had the inspiration that gave him the message. He had the inspiration that sent him out on his mission. He had the inspiration that provided the funds. He also had sufficient inspiration to provide funds for those churches. Oh, yes. The Father within me that doeth the works of the Master, and the Christ which strengtheneth me, of Paul, is that same power, that same Spirit of truth, that same consciousness of truth, with which we are dealing today in the infinite way, and which I am assuring you is as possible to you as it was to our Hebrew and Christian friends of old, and naturally that you see manifested in some degree in those of our present day. You remember at the Temple Gate Beautiful, Peter and John had healed a man? The Hebrews marveled and would make much of Peter and John, except that they stopped it. Why marvel ye men of Israel? As if we had healed this man. As if we, with our own understanding, had healed this man. Oh, no. The God of Abraham and of Isaac and of Jacob hath done this thing. The same Spirit that raised up Jesus Christ from the dead will quicken also your mortal bodies. Do you see what I am trying to say to you? That there is a Spirit. There is a Spirit in man. There is a divine spark. There is that which we will today call the Christ, which will lift you into the fourth dimension of life. That is, into a state of consciousness in which you do not live by your personal efforts or your personal will, personal wisdom, personal strength, personal health, but in which you find yourself empowered from on high, that is, from the kingdom within your own being.